My name is Courtney McCravey. I am a triple diamond with It Works Global. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and it's so crazy to me because time has just literally flown by. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story and how I got started in this because this was something that was not on my radar at all. Okay, this was something that I definitely wasn't planning to do in my life, but God works in mysterious ways, and I truly believe in us planning something for our own lives and God says, no, your plan's wrong. We have to trust in his plan. So you're here for a reason. I'm so excited that you're watching this. If you're watching this, this has been on your heart for a while because you've been added to this group, and I'm so excited to tell you about myself and about why you need to jump in. So I started this business 3 years ago, and I was a new mom. I just had a baby boy. His name's Lane. He was 4.5 months old when I started this business. But when I first got started this business, I just quit my job as a dental assistant. And it's actually crazy because I was someone that was praying to God my whole pregnancy, like, God, please let my husband allow me to stay home. Like, I want to stay home with my baby so bad. And Jacob, my husband, he always told me, like, you can't quit because it would just put us in a bind, and it's my job to protect that. And so I listened, I respected that. I was like, Lord, there's just a part of me that just wants to be home so badly. I mean, who doesn't want to be home with their kids, And I had a full-time mom my whole childhood, and she still works full-time, and I didn't want that. I knew I didn't want that for my life. And so anyways, I prayed and prayed and prayed, and I actually took 13 weeks off maternity leave. It wasn't paid. And then I went back to work, and it was the hardest day of my life. Moms, you know how it feels when you leave your child for the first time. It is horrible. I cried my whole way to work. My husband worked night shift at the time, so he was coming home. I was going to work. When he got home and he noticed that we weren't there, it broke him. It made him, like, he was like, oh my gosh, I cannot imagine how she feels. I feel bad. I don't like them not being here. I don't like not seeing them. So he calls me on the way to work and tells me to just quit my job. And I about ran off the road, you guys. I was so excited, but I was so shocked, and I was kind of nervous because I also knew that I went 13 weeks off on maternity leave, not paid. So it was already tight financially as it is. And so I quit my job, and I never looked back. And honestly, it's so crazy because I didn't know about It Works when I first quit. I was taking a leap of faith. But I feel like since I trusted God's plan and we listened to what he had planned for us, he brought me this opportunity at the perfect timing. It was weeks later, you guys. I saw a post on Facebook, and it was a woman that I love dearly now. I didn't even know her then. And she posted about being a stay-at-home mom and making money from her phone, and I was like, what? Like, that doesn't sound legit. I was so skeptical. I was so nervous, but honestly, something in my gut was telling me to reach out, and so I did, because I was like, what do I have to lose, I'm just gonna ask some questions. That doesn't mean I'm gonna dive in, right? But she told me everything, and I was just like amazed. And I normally am someone that would never do this or reach out to someone, but I just feel like I had that gut feeling that God placed in my heart to let me reach out to her, and I did, and I joined, and I never looked back, because you know what? I was at a point where we couldn't even afford Christmas for Lane's first Christmas. So he was 4.5 months old, and I literally had to go to bargain stores to buy his toys because we didn't have the money. And I wanted to get him some stuff, it's his first Christmas, And when I got home, I got all the toys, and they were all missing pieces. So I ended up having to return everything. So I felt like the suckiest mom alive. I felt like, wow, this is his first Christmas. I can't even provide for him his first Christmas. Like, wow, cool, And not that he would remember, but I remember that. And it's like, no, that was my breaking point. And I never wanted to feel that again. And that's why I jumped in. I just started December 29th, 2016. So I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary. And so I wanted change bad enough that I took a chance on doing something that was scary. I took a chance on, trying it, because you never know until you try. And if you don't try, you're taking 100% failure rate instead of at least 50-50. I'd rather have a 50-50 chance than a straight up 100 failure rate. And you're probably thinking, well, I'm scared, I don't know enough people, blah blah blah. I had the same feelings too, but you just got to jump in with both feet. You got to trust in God, and you just have to know that We have everything you need to be successful as long as you do the work. We provide you all the things you need to know, all the training, so many resources. I was someone who never heard of It Works Global when I first started. So obviously I never tried a product or anything like that, but I jumped in anyways because I knew I wanted change bad enough. And you have to ask yourself, how badly do you want change? Because if you want it bad enough, you'll be willing to do whatever it takes. And I know you and your family, your family means the world to you. You would do anything for them, right? So why not do something like this? Put other people's opinions aside because honestly, they don't pay your bills for you. Put your fears aside because your fears aren't doing anything from you, and fear doesn't come from God. It only comes from the devil. So you are listening to the devil, okay? Push him away and take advantage of this opportunity because you're here for a reason in this group. You're placed here for a reason to get more information, and you obviously want more information because you're interested. So make the change that you've been wanting to make. I promise you it's only scary when you first click that submit button, but once you do, you're like, oh, I feel so good. Oh my gosh, I did it, and then you just go from there. I promise you it's not as bad as it seems. It's worth doing something different to get something you never had. And so it was so worth to me. I was more scared living in a stressful financial environment for the rest of my life than more scared of doing something different that could get me out of it. So jump in. I promise you, it is so worth it.